All right. So for those of you who are not following us, I realize that not everybody follows these things like I do. So RFK, the Health and Human Services Secretary, forced all the vaccine companies and all the FDA, all the pharmaceutical companies to now publish their unpublished data. And what it's showing is that they've known about FDA, vaccines causing autism. They've known about vaccines causing allergy issues. They've known about way more vaccine deaths. These are with childhood vaccines than without. So for instance, there's like 250 measles vaccine deaths a year. And there's like 5 or 6 measles deaths from the actual measles. So way more kids are dying from the vaccine than have ever died from the measles. That came out. The fact that since 2020, 2021, the FDA, the NIH, the CDC knew, research data knew, fact proven that the COVID vaccine was killing people at an extremely high rate. And they knew, they had the data, they had the evidence, and they shut it down. They designed a computer program to hide the fact that people were dying from the vaccine so that they could still sell it. They admitted that Fauci, the NIH, the CDC, the FDA, specifically censored doctors who were giving alternative options to heal and prevent and fix COVID-19. So all of those conspiracy theories have all come out. It's been proven that it came from a lab in Wuhan and that Fauci and them made it and then disseminated it. And so this is all right now being proven out. One of the things that came out about SSRIs was that the unpublished data, and there's a lot more unpublished data that says this versus the published data that says it's not. A lot more of that stuff came out that said that SSRIs not only don't help, they're no better than placebo. So they give zero positive benefit for psychiatric issues. They also radically increase statistically significant amount, a radical increase in suicidal ideology, suicidal thoughts, actual suicide. And what they didn't talk about in this one, but this is all tied together psychologically when you look at the data, school shootings. So a lot of these school shootings would not have happened without psychiatric drugs. Because of the way that it alters the mind, the way that you disassociate pain and reality from what's going on. So that data has come out. This is also why they're talking about this big push to help people get off SSRIs. In the medical community, the whole medical community is screaming and yelling, how dare you take away these, amazing life-saving drugs because they were lied to. Here's the thing. All the medical establishment, all the doctors are not bad people in this. Well, not all of them. The vast majority are pretty good people. The problem is that they were lied to. I talk about this all the time. They were lied to. They were lied to about statins. They were lied to about SSRIs. They were lied to about hormones. This year, the reason why hormones are starting to take a big shift and peptides are taking a big shift is because RFK came out and told everybody, look, hormones do not cause cancer. Quit telling people they cause cancer. Start giving them to them. And so we can start helping people out. So, if you look at what has been made illegal by the FDA and what is legal, you start to understand why things are the way they are, why we're in such a mess. Look at the food all the chemicals they allow in the food that no other country allows. And that's just kind of what it is. So, all the evidence is now there if you want to see it, that the FDA is running not only cover for, but the marketing arm and the protection arm for the pharmaceutical companies. So the idea is if we poison the food and make everybody sick so that everybody's sick and they need the drugs, then they'll buy more drugs. And the idea is if we give the vaccines and create significant autoimmune damage and inflammation and systemic failure, well, they're going to be sick, and then we can sell them the drugs over here. And so that's what's going on. And I've talked about this before, and we now are starting to show proof of this as the hidden research is starting to come out, as RFK is starting to bring this stuff to light and show everybody what's going on and prove all of the claims we've all been making about vaccines the entire time, prove what we've been saying about SSRIs the entire time, and prove what we've been saying about hormones and natural physiological function the entire time. So that's kind of where we are right now. And so the issue that we're running into is that the amount of information that the CDC, the FDA, the NIH has lied about to your medical doctors, it's now to the point of what can you trust that your medical doctor tells you? Your medical doctor isn't lying to you. he's just, or she is just giving you information that they got from medical school that was a lie to begin with. And so they're just transferring lies, not knowing they're lies. So that's kind of where we're at. And so that's why this is such a big deal. So that's kind of where we are. And so what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of people in the medical community who are, their lives and their financial is dependent upon, the lie that vaccines are safe, the lie that SSRIs are highly beneficial, the lie that statin drugs are going to save your life from a heart attack and a stroke. They're dependent upon these lies, because if all of a sudden you go, hey, all the things that you guys know aren't really helpful. Well, okay. Well, now all of a sudden they can't sell you their service. You're not going to go to the office. They're going to start losing patients. So they're going to definitely come in and be like, no. All these things are, all the things that RFK is saying is a lie. Like we're great. Everything's fantastic. The way we're doing healthcare now works really, really well. I think the proof is in the pudding on that one. Look at society, the last 15, 20, 30 years. Have we been getting healthier as a society, or have we been getting worse as a society? We've been getting way worse as a society. So, now we kind of see why. All the information that the doctors were given, all the information that the medical doctors, the medical community was giving out was wrong. It was all lies set forward from the FDA, the NIH, and the CDC. So that's where we're at. There's still Senate testimony going on about all of this, so you guys can follow that. But as this stuff starts coming out, I 100% expect a giant push from the medical establishment and the propaganda machine to come out and slander, Rand Paul and, all the doctors, who are working on this, who are pushing this forward, who are getting the actual information out, massive attacks on RFK. So that's what we expect to see. However, look at the data that's coming out and then kind of take a look at where society is right now and be like, what makes more sense? That yes, the doctors were giving you bad information in order to increase profit sales for pharmaceuticals, or what they're telling you is right and it makes us healthier and safer. So those are your two options. And then the way to kind of verify this is look at society over the past 20, 30 years and be like, all right, cool. Are we getting healthier and is healthcare costs going down, or are we getting sicker and are healthcare costs going up? So if healthcare costs are going up and we're getting sicker, it's more likely that the FDA, the NIH, and the CDC were lying to the doctors giving bad information, not creating positive health outcomes, which ends up making us spend more money on healthcare and more money on pharmaceuticals. So that's this path. Or what the medical establishments, the CDC, NIH, and FDA has been telling the doctors is accurate. And so we are healthier and we're spending less on healthcare because we're healthier. Which one of these do you see? That's kind of where we're at. So if you guys have any questions, hit us up. I'm sure I'll talk to you guys a lot today on the phone. That's where it is. If you guys have any other questions, drop them in the comments. Have a fantastic day. Thanks for your time.